So we're going to be starting our paper strip sculptures. We just got finished looking at the PowerPoint and discussing analogous colors. Say that with me. Analogous colors. And with our analogous colors, we decided we were going to choose two colors next to the color wheel, or next to each other on the color wheel. So like red here is an analogous color to blue, or sorry, purple over here. Okay, so I am going to have 4 of each color. You're going to imagine that you've got an A color and you've got a B color. Okay, with your A color and your B color, excuse me, that's a little off. There's my B color. Bloop. Okay, for your A color and your B color, you should have 4 strips of each. How many of each? 4, for a total of how many? 8 altogether, right? So you should have 8 paper strips. So you're going to start with taking all of your paper strips and you're going to glue them into circles. So remember, a circle is a shape, correct? And you're going to need your glue bottle, and your glue bottle will have a little glue chunk on top. Remember, tap it, pick that glue chunk off, and then you should have enough for being able to push it down. If it doesn't work, please let me know and I can fix it for you. But your glue bottle is a silent tool. You press down gently and squeeze hard and the glue should come out. If it doesn't, there's a problem, and come bring it to me and I can fix it. So you line up your 8 paper strips, put a little dribble of glue on the end of each one. And if you do this nicely and you do it just like this, you'll have all of them set up and you can have all of them gluing and drying at the same time. And what you do basically is you just take it and you rotate it around like this until you get a circle. Okay, you might have to hold that together for a second until it dries, but you want all of your circles to be as close to the same as possible. Okay. Oops. And if they do come apart, you can just put them back together and maybe hold it for a little bit longer. I'm being a little impatient because I'm making a video, but you can take a little bit longer. You should probably hold it for, 15 to 30 seconds each, and that'll probably keep them from springing apart too quickly. Okay. So there's my 4 circles for my my B color, and here's my 4 circles for my A color. And then you want to take your circles and turn them into forms. So right now these circles are shapes. They're just circles, right? And a shape is a 2-dimensional thing. Okay. And a form is a 3-dimensional thing. And we're making a sculpture, so we're making forms. So you're going to have 2 things that you want to make. You're going to make, number 1, you're going to have a sphere. And can we see that? Yeah, pretty close. We're going to move it just a little bit here. Okay, we want to have a sphere, a cube, a sphere, and a cube. So we have 1 of each color, right? And if I just readjust this even a little more, there we go, that's a little better. Now you can see it. Okay, so to do this, to make a sphere, you're going to take your circles, and the sphere is the easiest one. You put a little glue dribble at the bottom, flip it over, put another little glue dribble down here. Okay, and then you take these 2 and you slide them together and hold on to them for a second. Probably have to count to 15 or 30 to get this sphere glued together. Okay, once you have that form finished, you can make your other sphere. A little glue dribble on the top, glue dribble on the bottom. Slide the two together so that you've got a nice sphere. You might have to kind of readjust it as you go to make sure the shape looks nice and that the form looks nice. Shape's two-dimensional, form is three-dimensional. And in here you can see the positive and negative shapes we talked about. The positive shapes being the pieces of paper and the negative shapes being where you can see through the pieces of paper. So there's our B sphere. And now we're going to make the cube. To make the cubes, you take the piece of paper and you squish it flat. So here's my paper strip squished flat. And then I'm going to take the two folds, here's the fold and here's the fold, and I'm going to squish those together to make a little bow tie. And I'm going to flatten it. And if you then kind of backtrack here and readjust it, you can turn this into a square. Okay, and I'm going to switch those out, make another square here. Squish it flat. Take the folds, squish the folds together, and there's my cube. Sorry, square. Now you're going to take your square just like we did with the spheres. Glue at the bottom, glue on the bottom, and slide these two together as my spheres go rolling off the screen. And we have our cube. Now I'm going to make my B cube. And I'm going to fold it flat. Take those folds, squish them together. To get my square. Okay, my other one, fold it flat. Squish the folds together. For my other cube, glue on the bottom, flip it over, glue on the bottom so that I can slide those two together, and I have my B cube. So when you're done, you should have an A sphere, an A cube, a B sphere. Ooh, I got glue all over that. Yuck. And a B cube. So you've got two of each. Make sure that your name is on the bottom so that we know who it belongs to next week. Okay, whatever side is the bottom, you can just lightly write your name on the bottom. So I would write Mr. Lundgren. Okay, so you write Mr. Lundgren right on the bottom. And then when we glue it down, you won't be able to see it so much. Don't scrawl it all over the place. But so here for our directions, you're going to choose an analogous color scheme. You're going to get 4 paper strips of each color, of your A color and your B color. You're going to glue all your paper strips together into circles. Then you're going to create 2 spheres, one with your A color, one with your B color. Here's A and B. And then you're going to create 2 cubes, one with your A color, one with your B color. And make sure to write your name on all your pieces. So that is what our first day of the paper strip sculptures should look like.